Let's get it started, baby. Welcome to another edition of the thing that we do. It's 120 yards long, it's 50 yards wide, and it's called the Gridiron. And welcome to this week's episode of the Gridiron. It's me. They call me the Midnight Rider. In the background, I got my super producer, the big guy KG. He's gonna make some appearances every now and then, but a lot has happened. It's a week, and in the world of the college football 25 sideline junkies league, that's an eternity. We've had a national championship, we've had recruiting, we've had signing day, we've had the beginning of a new season, all in the last week. Last week we left you, we was on the beginning of the playoffs. We've crowned our national champion, we've done some recruiting, and here we are. So first and foremost, before I get long-winded and too caught up in the moment, super producer KG, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm behind the scenes and I'm well.
All right. So let's start with, I don't know if we talked about this, so I feel like I'm about to Chris Russell you a little bit. Let's start with the kickoff, and the kickoff is going to be our version of recapping what has happened since the last time we talked. So since the last time we talked, we had the college playoffs, and we had an intriguing situation, a great story, almost a Cody Rhodes-like story. If you're a big wrestling fan, you'll understand. Where a team came from the ashes. They were like a phoenix. The 12 seed Oregon. Let's talk about their story through the college playoffs, and let's talk about some of the upsets first. So when we left you, the playoffs, we had Miami versus Oregon. Is that right?
KG? That is correct.
All right, so we have Miami, Oregon. Was the first round also Alabama and Ohio State?
Alabama had the bye. Alabama, Michigan had the first round bye.
All right, so Clemson. I'm sorry, I said Clemson. Miami and Oregon played. Mm-hmm. Oregon wins that ball game. What, 21-16?
Yes, 21-16. That was a user versus user game.
All right. Any more user versus user games in that first round?
No, because Texas was also in that first round, if I'm not mistaken, and Texas wound up beating a computer opponent, but we don't have the video footage of that because Twitch does us so dirty.
Right. And so then we get in the second round. In the second round, Oregon's playing Clemson, right?
Right.
So Oregon beats Clemson.
38-13.
All right. The next game is what's the next user game in that?
That will be Texas versus Michigan.
And Texas pulls off the upset and beats Michigan.
In overtime. That was a bomb burner, a thriller.
I was about to say, you stole the words out of my mouth. Yep. That was one of the best games I saw all year. I think the only other game I can think about was that what's the one with the punt return or the kick? Oh, Maryland upset Penn State with the kickoff return to win the ball game. The Alabama LSU game,
which is a triple overtime. Those
are probably the two best regular season games that we had. After that, after the Texas win, we also had one more. We had Alabama beating somebody or losing to somebody.
Alabama lost to OSU, Ohio State
University. All right, cool. And then after that, we ended up where we had Oregon and Texas.
You had Oregon and Clemson. Then after they beat Clemson, they went on to face Texas.
Okay, and then Oregon beats Texas, and that's another game where we didn't get the results because of the Twitch.
Yes, the stream was laggy, so we know Oregon won the game.
Right, we know Oregon was winning.
Okay. Right, Oregon was up when the Twitch stream went down. So,
and then we had Ohio State versus Alabama, and for some reason Alabama just couldn't get started. It's probably the reason I had this cap on. Like my curl wasn't just curling right. So we threw the hat on today. But it's kind of how Alabama was. They just couldn't get their offense going. And Ohio State just kind of, I think they beat them 24-14, something in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to the final, and the final has user Oregon versus Ohio State. And the user, Oregon, Mr. Jimmy himself, finds a way. He gets out early and he keeps the foot on their necks. And Ohio State just never has an answer the rest of the ball game. So you already understand. It's part of the reason why I got this in the background is because we did crown a champion. And he walked the aisle. Oregon won the national championship in the first season of our user league. So now, as we come into this upcoming season, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Woo! And that's Oregon. So if you playing Jimmy, and I know we'll get to this later on, we talk about the actual first week one. I know there's some great games. I don't remember what happened in week 0, but week 1, we've got some dynamite user games set up. We came up because the commissioners talked. Everybody listened, and they said, "Oh, we want to get at least 2 user games per season for each team, so that way nobody goes a whole season without playing a user." And it's only to make sure we get the best games and we get this figured out the right way. So, Oregon, national champs. We end that part of the dynasty. We start the next phase. The next phase is, even though you've been recruiting all year, we're in the recruiting phase. We're in the transfer portal. We're doing everything in the off season. And that's one of the beauties and one of the reasons I used to love this game is you had all the parts. You got the regular season to play the games. You got the all season to do the recruiting. Then you start the preseason and cutting players and everything else. KG, in terms of big pickups, I know a certain team got like the number 1 corner and the number 1 receiver in the transfer portal.
Yes, they did. They did 5-star. The best receiver in the transfer portal, as well as the best receiver, 5-star receiver in the recruiting class, as well as the top 2 corners in the transfer portal, all came to play under the Golden Dome at Notre Dame. The top receiver was Zachariah Branch, who personally, I had to fight and claw my way to number 1 to get past Michigan and the national champ Oregon to get this gentleman. Things didn't go down in week 0 the way we wanted because we were supposed to face Maryland, but we had some scheduling conflicts, so we had to push our game back with Maryland to week 3. But week 1, Notre Dame came out last night, opened the season, kicked it off first game.
What are we doing?
I'm sorry, I'm going too far.
Yes, we're in the off season.
We're in the off season. So
what are we doing here?
I'm excited, man.
Oh my gosh, we're burying the lead. Goodness.
Okay, in the off season, those gentlemen come to Notre Dame, and those signings take Notre Dame to a top 10 recruiting class. So
we had
9 players in the league. Notre Dame had the best recruiting class.
All right, and then I know not Ohio State, but the Ohio State transfer landed with Michigan, the linebacker. That's a 91.
I believe so.
He's a 91 speed. I don't know if he's 91 acceleration. And then somebody else had I can't remember where it is in the chat, but somebody else had a running back or somebody jump up to like Michigan. A 95.
No, he jumped up to a 99.
Who was that?
Hold on.
If you remember.
I got it because I was just looking at it. Halfback Cabana. Speed went up to 99 with a 99 acceleration.
Remember what school that was?
Michigan.
Okay. I did see this morning we had some games being played, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's try to wrap up the all season real quick. Anything else stood out in our all season that you can think of to help me out?
You know, they look at the draft and how many players you have drafted. Colorado had 2 first-round draft picks, of course, Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter.
That's the team I'm intrigued by because I want to know what quarterback he went and got. I know he changed his offense. He was a little more run dominant the second half, won some big games, had 2 big upsets. That's a team that intrigues me. Another team that intrigues me is the Horned Frogs, because if they get off to a good start, the Horned Frogs can be interesting because offensively, when I watched them, they did some things that I like. You can see the heavy Joe Gibbs influence in their offense, if I can say that. And that's no disrespect to Lou Holtz III, but I saw a very Joe Gibbs influence, maybe even a Jay Gruden influence offense. I don't know if he's going run any spot or 2 wide bananas or anything like that, but I saw the influence there. I'm also curious of Miami. That's Mackey, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm curious about his offense because I think he lost Martinez, and I wonder what his running game is going to look like going forward. I know he played earlier, but I really didn't see the run game. I think he was using his pass game and his new quarterback. So I'm not going to get too caught up in that right now. Who else in the league? BJ, I haven't seen much from him in the offseason. So, again, but he runs a nice offense. He and Jimmy, I guess, that's that yin and the yang, the Mr. Miyagi, Daniel LaRusso influence, if you want to call it that. Where their offenses are quite similar, but Jimmy has a way. I don't know what it is, but it's something special about that Oregon offense. And I'm wondering, I don't know who the QB is this year because I think Dylan Gabriel's gone. So I don't know what he's doing at QB. I don't know if he got a recruit or if he's going with the backup that was there, the incumbent. So that's going to be interesting. I mean, we got stories and stories. You said Cabana, the running back at Michigan. So I guess he takes Mr. Edwards' place unless Mr. Edwards has another year eligibility. And that's going to be interesting in its own right if that's the case. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we got great storylines. We got great options. We haven't even talked about Dario and Alabama because, you know, Alabama just turns over recruits like it's nobody's business. We talked about Xavier in Colorado and kind of having to fix some things and find some replacements. What else? Did I miss anybody?
I mean, a lot of people were being clandestine when it came to off-season recruiting. So they didn't want to, you know, your boards were being held up, and then, you know, spring practices come, and all of a sudden the tarp goes up on the fence, and everybody wants to practice inside, so the cameras can't get in. So everybody.
So we finally get to a point where we advance to the new season. We start week 0. I don't think we had too much in the way of user games in week 0.
No,
I don't think we had anything because nobody posted anything.
No, week 0 was a quiet week. That was supposed to be
Notre Dame and Notre Dame and
Maryland. But the ADs couldn't get together. Yeah.
But unlike Lefty and John Thompson, we actually found a way to make that game happen. That happens week 3, so you should get a recap next week of that ball game.
That is true.
We did start with let's see. Earlier today we had Boston College host Notre Dame.
Yes.
And since you were super excited and you wanted to tell a story too early, Notre Dame, new class, new offense. I think the tagline I heard this week in the hype video was new offense, who this. So go ahead and talk real quick about the 52-24 victory. I'm sorry, 50 was it 55? Because
55.
You decided to kick a field goal with 2 seconds left.
It's a rivalry game, so you know, haven't played Boston College online in quite some time. So
yeah,
this goes back 20 some odd years. of my rivalry with Boston College. So
he goes back to the field goal, the Bill Curley. It was a Bill Curley and Company or whoever it was. No, Bill Curley was the forward. I can't remember who the quarterback was, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. 93.
This goes back, and I try to put points up on Boston College head every chance I get. But speaking from experience, just experiencing this game, first game of the season to kick it off. The positives: Zachariah Branch, 6 catches, 120, and a touchdown. Got a new quarterback who's not new, but he's new to the starting role. And it's like night and day because I'm able to complete passes that I wasn't able to.
Running back.
Huh?
So I saw a third running back.
Oh, you talking about
number 3?
Yeah, he was on last season too, but he was the third running back. Because Jadarius Price is my power back.
Right.
Jeremiah Love's my main back. Jadarius Price is my power back. So you'll see, in short situations, you'll see Jadarius Price more, but I'm trying to incorporate all of them.
This season. He got a little 3-headed monster going there, so that's nice. I like the way you coach that up.
And a drawback, that should have been a 55-10 victory. I gave up 2 touchdowns off of defensive confusion. They came out, they audible, everything switched around. And the way the screen was sitting, I didn't see the receiver on the outside. So I'm thinking I'm already dropping back, taking the deepest receiver. And he gone up the sideline. And it was just a flick of the wrist, and there wasn't no catching him after that. Then same thing happened again, confusion, trying to come out of the package that I was in. So, early season kinks, but we got it. We know what we're going to do.
You have that display or that picture of the this week's games?
No.
All right, so
we don't need the.
So here's the way this week sets up for our users. So Maryland comes out and plays Virginia Tech week 1. Then we have Michigan playing against FCS Midwest. We have Miami versus Syracuse, and I think Miami won that, right? Because that was played while we were right as we were getting on air.
Let me double check.
Yeah, just go back and check it real quick. Take your time, because I got the rest of the schedule to go through. Notre Dame played Boston College. They won 55-24 with that egregious field goal at the end. Colorado plays FCS West, which is a good way for them to get their feet wet because they got to figure out what they have going on since they lost Hunter and Shador. FSU, Florida State, plays Alabama in a big first game. It looks like Florida State isn't ranked at this point. So I know they got some questions at quarterback. They may have some questions at running back. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. We get Texas versus Oregon in a huge game in week 1. And maybe I said this already because, yep. So that's all. Oh, and TCU plays Illinois. So that's our user games for the first week of the season. Did you get a chance to get that Miami thing? If you didn't, don't worry about it.
Miami 31, Syracuse 7.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, Michigan is playing right now against FCS Northwest. It is 4 minutes and 36 seconds left in the second quarter. Michigan is up 10-7. They have the ball on the 25-yard line and are driving down the field.
All right, folks. So here we are. We're just recapping again. Sideline Junkies 2024 College Football League. It's the College Football 25 video game. We decide, hey, let's just do a podcast about it. Let's have some fun. That's what you got today. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. KG, you got anything before we get out of here?
Biggest thing I got is, man, if you want to check out any other thing that we have on this platform, hit us up on social media. We on every social media. We on TikTok. We on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, of course, because you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube. You want to join this league? Don't be afraid. to shoot over your username. I think this is cross platform, so I think we can do
Xbox.
What's the name? We can do Xbox and PlayStation. So if that's the case, shoot over your username. We'll send you an invite, send you the list of rules. I mean, we got rules, but it's not nothing really bad. So
let's say it how it is. If you want the smoke, we are more than willing to light the cigar. Plain and simple.
I'll take that.
Plain and simple, bro. You ain't got to dance
don't
around
it.
And yeah, I think the only rules in the league, main thing is I think there's some gameplay rules. We ask you to upload or stream the game live so that way everybody can watch it. And I tell you right now, I don't have a team in the league yet because I don't have my PS5 yet. But I watch games like I'm watching regular games on TV. So especially on a Wednesday, I'll let you guys know right now. Wednesday night, I'm sitting here. I'm watching whatever user game it is. I'm sitting here. I'm taking it in. I'm enjoying it. Like even right now, once we finish this, unfortunately, Texas plays Michigan. And, you know, my boy Quinn Ewers is about to do his thing. So, but that's the only reason I'm gonna miss a couple games during this is because college football is going on. But once the games are over, or we get a point where the games don't matter, like the scores are ridiculous, yeah, I'm coming back over. I'm gonna watch the live streams. So that's part of the reason. I think it's just pure entertainment, and I can't wait till I get my PS5. It's gonna be a while, you know. The nursing homes ain't treating me right, so we gotta wait a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, he's the big guy, KG. I'm the Midnight Rider. Like we said, if you want that smoke, we are more than willing to light the cigar. Thank you for watching another edition of the Gridiron. We'll catch you next Saturday at 11 o'clock with more updates, more scores, and hopefully we may have some new additions. Thank you. Have a great night. Peace.